Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
The Huawei Mate 80 series has finally landed after months of anticipation. Hey everyone, let's dive into the cutting-edge features Huawei is bringing to the table this year. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from Maiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. Right out of the box, the packaging feels premium. It comes with a single-use seal to make sure the device hasn't been tampered with, which is a nice detail. The Mate lineup's classic black and gold box is here again, proudly showing the Huawei logo and the Mate 80 Pro Max branding. Once we open it, you'll see a compact display peeking through. To make it easier to show, we'll switch to a dark backdrop. Now let's get to the star of the show. Lifting it up, wow, there's definitely some weight to it. Even the paper layer underneath is eco-friendly, and Huawei includes a paper protective case as well. All the usual accessories are here. As a flagship, it comes with a 100-watt Huawei supercharged brick rated at 20 volts per 5/8, using a high-voltage power solution. The adapter itself is surprisingly small. The cable is long enough and supports 6-watt charging with dual Type-C connectors. It measures 99 centimeters, and the magnetic track stays completely straight, sticking to that Mate series style. This year, Huawei has gone with a fully flat display. Look closely. You'll spot 3 punch holes on the front, which is a signature design element of Mate series flagships. The transition from the glass to the frame is almost seamless. The glossy metal frame includes antenna strips, and instead of chamfered edges, it has a subtle curve. From the side, you'll notice the phone isn't exactly thin. The antenna bands at the top are symmetrical with openings on both ends. On the right side, we get a matte power button and shiny volume buttons. Interestingly, the antenna bands aren't perfectly aligned on both sides. The SIM tray and Type-C port each have different cutouts, helping users avoid inserting anything the wrong way. A small but thoughtful design choice. Turning to the back, the way the rear panel reflects light from different angles is quite striking. Shift it slightly, and the circular ring along with the central circle creates different visual effects. This year's back design is unmistakably recognizable. There's no confusing this with any other phone. So on a scale of 1 to 100, how would you rate the Mate 80 Pro Max this year? Now let's zoom in on the camera ring. First glance from the side, the bump is definitely noticeable. As a flagship, it packs a quad camera setup, and each lens opening is huge. There are also 2 extra cutouts for imaging support, plus a dual-tone flash in the center. Without the circular ring design, the whole setup might look overly exaggerated. The material on the back is unlike the usual glass and metal combo. It feels extremely solid, both visually and in the hand. Even the way the back connects to the frame includes a full circular line of antenna strips, blending style and function seamlessly. There's a lot of attention to detail here. At 241 grams, the phone is definitely on the heavier side. Since it's a flat screen model, some people might wonder if that circular ring on the back is similar to Apple's MagSafe. We tested it with a magnetic power bank. No magnetic attraction at all. Even a magnetic tester showed nothing on the back. So this design has nothing to do with Apple's ecosystem. Now let's take a look at the original protective case. Once you snap it on, the phone immediately takes on a more subtle, refined look. We've also placed all 3 versions here, the standard model, the A-grade, and the Pro, so you can see the whole lineup at a glance. When you compare them closely, the differences become very clear. The standard version is noticeably lighter, even around the camera area. With fewer lenses and smaller openings, it's obvious that it doesn't follow the flagship-level design language. The entire phone is narrower as well, which gives it a much more comfortable one-handed grip. The Pro version moves a bit closer to the flagship feel with an upgraded camera module, but the body still stays relatively slim and narrow, making it ideal for everyday users. From the side profile, you can clearly see the jump in width when you place the Pro Max next to the Pro. Those few extra millimeters might not sound like much, but they make a huge difference in the hand. That's why the Pro Max is more suitable for photography enthusiasts who want the best imaging experience. The standard model uses a matte frame instead of a glossy one. As for weight, the 3 devices stack up like this. Pro Max at 241 grams, Pro at 222 grams, and the standard Mate 80 at 219 grams. Next, let's compare all of this with the previous flagship, the Mate 70. The design gap is massive. The older model's gold and silver finish stands out immediately. Side by side, the two styles show clear differences. One design leans towards a circular look, while the other goes for a fully rounded shape. But the biggest change is the frame. Last generation had a pronounced curved edge, which made the device feel thinner. This year, Huawei switched to a glossy flat edge design that makes the phone appear chunkier. In terms of size and width, though, they're actually quite close. The screen differences are even more dramatic. The Mate 80 Pro Max adopts a completely flat display this year, while the Mate 70 series used large curved edges on all four corners. And if we look one more generation back at the Mate 60, the series that really marked Huawei's comeback, you'll notice that those models also used a circular design and featured a unique, almost legendary back material on the flagship units. Here we have the three generations, 60, 70, and 80, lined up from left to right. Which one do you like best? In terms of recognition and identity, the 60 and the 80 definitely stand out more. These days, a lot of brands look very similar inside and out, but Huawei still manages to bring distinct personality to its designs. Now let's compare it to Huawei's longtime rival, Apple, which also went through a major redesign recently. What do you think? Which style do you prefer? Type 1 or 2, and let's see what the crowd decides. One thing they still share, though, is weight. Both feel a bit hefty in the hand. All right, now that we've covered the design, let's jump into the software. HarmonyOS 6 with its dynamic desktop may look familiar at first glance, but there are actually a lot of changes under the hood. On a light background, you can see that the bezels are almost the same width on all four sides, and the rounded corners are very well tuned. To put things into perspective, we have to compare it with other flagship competitors. Lining them up against a light-colored background, Huawei's bezel control is impressive, especially at the chin. But if you look closely, Apple's corner radius is slightly larger, while Huawei keeps theirs a bit tighter. Apple sticks with its notch and dynamic island approach, while Huawei uses its signature triple-hole layout. With a quick switch in the display settings, you can instantly change Huawei's screen cutout style. Looking deeper into the screen, the pixel structure uses a standard diamond arrangement with 3 color subpixels, and the pixel density reaches both 60 and 120 levels across dual lines. Up until recently, Huawei didn't show the processor name directly in the system, but starting in 2026, you can clearly see the chipset listed. On the Mate 80 Pro Max, it's powered by the Kirin 9030. Meanwhile, the standard Mate 80 runs on the Kirin 920. And that wraps up today's unboxing. I'll be uploading a detailed review very soon, so make sure to subscribe for the full deep dive and join our tech community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.